What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the You Might Be Surprised podcast. I would crack this polar, but I fucked up my intro about 3 times. So we're here for it. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope your guys' Halloween was fantastic. Hey, how many of you got lucky with a bunny? Or hey, how many dudes, if you're a girl that's listening, how many dudes did you see with their shirt off? Because I bet you a lot. Halloween's the one time where a dude can go out without his shirt on and no one's like, what is this dude doing? You know? I'm the Hulk. My shirt has to be off. Can't you see that I painted myself green in the purple shorts? And it's always the guys. It's either the really, really jacked guys or the guys that shouldn't have their shirts off. There's no in between. It's so funny. But I hope everyone is doing great. Yeah, man. It's just another day in paradise for me. It's Saturday. I always record these things on Saturdays. It's currently 11:15 in the morning. I've been recording these things in the morning just because I feel better. I like to get this knocked out of the way. I like to know that it's done. And your boy's also been vlogging. I've been creating some B-roll shots. I spent an hour creating coffee. And if you've never created coffee, that's a absurd amount of time to create coffee. It's absurd. Coffee takes like 10 minutes, 15. If most 5 minutes, if you literally just like scoop it and you throw it in the actual like coffee maker. But your boy is trendy and has all the cool ways. I have the AeroPress, I have the Chemex, and I have the French press. I made this in a Chemex and I want to shoot some B-roll shots. I want to embrace my inner Peter McKinnon. Y'all probably know who he is, but if he's not, but if you don't know, he's a photographer, he's a videographer, he's just a straight up creator and someone I look up to. And the dude's always making some sick B-roll of coffee. So I was like, I mean, how hard is that? Little did I know, it is the hardest thing ever. Hey, if you think vlogging is easy, try it. That shit is so hard. You're in the middle of talking and in the back of your head, you're like, does anyone even give a shit about what I'm saying? It's really mind controlling because you want to vlog and you want to create, but also there's a voice in the back of your head that's like, this isn't entertaining. You know this, right? Or maybe that's just me, because that's all I get with this podcast, too. I'll be ranting, going on something that I think is hilarious, but then there's this little voice in the back of my head that's like, you suck at this, you know this, right? And every podcast, I just keep putting them farther down and lock them away in my head, you know? Am I crazy? Probably. But that's not what this podcast is about. I wanted to make a full podcast because I turn 25 next week. Your boy turns 25, and I'm the only one in my friend group that is single, and I wanted to make a podcast dedicated to explaining why dating sucks in your mid-20s. So, if anyone finds this interesting, let me know. Or if anyone finds it funny, let me know. Or if anyone is going through the same stuff as me, let me know. Tweet at me at YNBS_Chris because I want to know, dude, because I've been going through some shit. I feel like it's almost impossible to find a relationship right now. And this summer made sense why most people didn't find a relationship, or why I didn't find a relationship. And that's just because it's the summer right after COVID. We were all locked up. Everyone wanted to go out and be wild, get crazy, just be single, live single, don't care who they're talking to, talk to multiple people. And so that makes sense. But now we're into cuffing season, right? The pumpkin spice lattes are out. You smell that, that means cuffing season is here, and it's been here for like the past month. And dude, I've been having a hard time just talking to anyone. And it's terrible. So let me break it down for the people who want to know why dating sucks in your mid-20s. All right? So in your 20s, there's two ways that you can meet people. There's two ways. You can either meet someone the traditional way, which is through a friend or at a bar, or the most convenient way is dating apps. So let me tell you why meeting somebody traditionally doesn't work. So most of us meet people through our friends. Like when you're in college, you start hanging out with this guy in class, and then you get introduced to his friend group, and his friend group might have girls that you haven't talked to throughout college or haven't seen, and then you're introduced to them. And then if those girls don't work out, they have friends, and then you're introduced to that friend group. So in college, it's easier to find somebody. Now, when you're in your mid-20s, the friends that you hang out with, chances are you've been hanging out with them for years now. It's actually almost harder to find new friends than it is to find a relationship. Because like everyone in their mid-20s has their set of friends, unless you get thrown into the social culture, or I don't even know how you make friends. Honestly, I'm 25 and I really don't know how you make friends. But the point I'm getting at is you've had these friends for so long, so you know the girls that are in the friend group. And chances are they're already taken. And if they're not, then they're crazy. And you don't want to talk to them. And you know it's just not going to work. Or they're not your type, right? So that's out of the line. That's out of the line unless you somehow meet a new friend and they introduce you to their friends, and there's attractive girls there that you find attractive, and you go and pursue one of them. So automatically the traditional way is out the door. Out the door. Doesn't happen. So let's move to the more convenient way, the dating apps. There's 3 big dating apps if you didn't know. There's Tinder, the OG, there's Bumble, and there's Hinge. Tinder is a bunch of bullshit. All right, I've made multiple podcasts about Tinder, about reading Tinder bios and all that stuff. I've come to the conclusion that it's complete bullshit. Tinder is meant for 19 to 22-year-olds to hook up and play how many STDs can they get throughout college. It is not meant for a place to find a relationship. And if you found a relationship from Tinder, dude, props to you, because that never happens. Never happens. So that leaves us with Bumble and Hinge. Bumble's cool because there's like a social norm. If you don't know, there's a social norm where if you match with a girl, the girl never makes the first move. The guy always makes the first move, and you have to be either one, damn good looking, or you have to be creative as hell to get the girl's attention, right? You need them to be going like, wow, whenever you message them, okay? And if you're not, then it's automatically gone. Like that opportunity is gone. But with Bumble, you match with the girl and the girl gets to choose if she wants to message you or not, which is great because that puts a lot of pressure off of me, off of the guys, especially off of me because, dude, I can't think of creative things all the time. And hey just doesn't cut it. Hi just doesn't cut it. What's up doesn't cut it. And small talk doesn't cut it. Even though you have to small talk to get to the most interesting shit. So, but the problem with Bumble is, or I guess the problem with dating apps in general is that if you're a girl, every single swipe is a match. Every single swipe is a match. If you're a guy, not every swipe is a match because there's more guys than girls. So if you think about it, if you're a dude on a dating app, your percentage just drops so much because there's so many more guys. And then it drops even more by how creative your profile is, and it drops even more if you're ugly. Right? Like, for every, like, just think about it. There has to be, like, if you're a girl, you could probably tell that there's top tier guys. There's a lot of them. So then you have to weed your way through all that bullshit, and then just hope that the girl that you like that matches with you sends you a text. So that's Bumble, right? Here or there. But Hinge is the new one on the block. Hinge is like the Tesla of dating apps. You know, it's efficient, and it's supposedly it has the most success rate of actually finding relationships. I've actually had one relationship work through a dating app, and it was great. Now, did I blow that? Yes, but that's neither here or there. I had a relationship spawn from a dating app. All right. So Hinge is cool because it's different because you don't match. Like, there's no matching. It's pretty much if you think the person is good looking, or if you think they're attractive, or you think they have a good personality, you can send them a text right away. And then if I send a text, they could choose to accept it. If they send a text, I can choose to accept it, which is super cool. But then it comes back to the whole same point where there's so many more guys on dating apps than there is girls, so it's still hard. Pretty much what I'm trying to convince myself that I'm not ugly. But it's just a mess, dude. It's just a mess. Like, it's so hard to even think about dating. And then there's like, once you match with somebody, there's like a checklist that you have to meet, which I get, right? Everyone has the certain things that you hope that a person has, that you see yourself going to be with, right? But like, also, isn't the point of a relationship to grow together? So like, if they have 70% of the things that you like, you could grow into that other 30%, right? And I'm not just saying just for me, for like, I'm not complaining about the girls, but I'm also just saying just like in general, right? Like, that's just like what a relationship be, and that's like what you should be doing. But it's like everyone's trying to find their Mr. or Mrs. Perfect. And I catch myself doing this all the time. I'm so picky when it comes to dating apps because it's like I don't want to waste my time. I've wasted my time so long on these stupid things that it becomes pickier and pickier. And then the more picky you are, the less matches you get, the less conversations you have. And I forget, I was scrolling through TikTok, like this was like a while ago, and there was this girl saying, guys need to lower their standards so then they can go on more dates, so then when they have the opportunity to match with the 10 out of 10, the girl of their dreams, then they can impress her. That's some bullshit too, but I get it. I really do, because to go back on the whole thing of like going on more dates and having experience, that makes sense. But also, like, the girls can't be saying that too. Like, the girls also have to be lowering their standards and going on a lot more dates to impress the guy, right? Like it's a two-way street. A relationship is a two-way street. As soon as you make it a one-way street, it's fucking garbage and it's done, and it doesn't work, and you're both are going to end up back on these stupid dating apps. I get why people don't break up anymore, because this shit is ridiculous. I'm on fire today, dude. Let me read you guys some statistics about dating apps. All right. To go back on my whole thing where there's more dudes than guys, check this. 76.9% of Tinder users in 2020 were male. Huh. You wonder why I'm still single, or what that whole rant I just did makes sense now. 85% of Tinder users say I love you within the first year of dating. Not gonna lie, I toss out that after like 4 months. I'm a lovebird. 7% of people in the US use a dating website slash app to cheat on their significant other. That's another point that I'm going to come back to right after this. Hold on. 25% of online dating users are talking to 4 to 5 contacts at the same time. Keep that in mind too. So let me make this point. I feel like before the dating apps and before all this stuff, it was easier to kind of commit yourself because you didn't have the FOMO, right? Our generation, my generation, the millennials and the Gen Zers, they live in FOMO. They literally are like, oh, if this person's not good enough, I can toss you away and I can find someone new. Or you don't put yourself into a relationship because you're waiting for that 10 out of 10 in your eyes. So you just toss them away because you have the fear of missing out, dude. And also, it's so easy to download these apps. It's very convenient. I really feel like you should pay to use a dating app. Like you have to pay because then you weed out all the bullshit, right? And it also alleviates from the people cheating. Like I said, 7% of people in the US use dating apps to cheat. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. And I believe it too. I really do believe it. Like not my friends, but I've seen these horror stories on podcasts and things like that where like you catch someone dating or like you catch someone cheating, and because of how simple it is, you could literally talk to hundreds of people now, but a click of a button. But let's throw that out of the way. So let's say so just meeting somebody is hard. Just meeting somebody and getting that first connection and actually figuring out if you want to spend time with the person is almost impossible. But let's say it does happen. Let's say you make that connection and now you're going to go on a date with somebody. There is only 2 options for dates in your mid-20s. There's only 2. Only 2. You can either go and get coffee or you can go and get drinks. That's it. Which is fine. Those are probably the 2 best first dates because you're not having food, so you don't have to worry about shoving food in your mouth and looking weird. You're just getting coffee or you're just having drinks and you're just vibing. That's how you can really know somebody. The drinks is fun because after 2 or 3 of them, depending on how well the night is going, you can kind of sort of see the real side of the person. Like every first date, you're being yourself, but you're also being a more laid back version of yourself because you don't want to scare the person away. It's not till that 3rd or 4th date where you kind of like let loose and you're like, okay, showing you more of myself right away. Or if you're just like me, I just straight up, this is me. This is who I am. Oh, you don't like it? Okay, on to the next one. I'll start dating again in 5 years. But the coffee one is more interesting than the drinks one. The drinks one is easier. The drinks one is easier because everyone loves going to get drinks and it's at night. So chances are it's going to be on a date where you have nothing going on and the girl has nothing going on, or vice versa. And that is easier because you kind of plan it around both of your schedules. I think it's more impressive to plan a coffee date because you actually have to carve out time from your day to go on a date with this person, right? You say, nah, I'm not going to go shop today. I'm going to take 2 hours to go on a date. Or I'm not going to go to the movies. I'm going to spend 2 hours to go on a date. I'm not going to go to the gym. I'm going to take 2 hours to go on a date, right? It's a little bit more impressive and it's a little bit more inclusive. And that's why I think the coffee date is superior than the drink date, because like I said, it's easy to say, okay, I'm free this night. Are you free? Yes, I have nothing going on. That means they have nothing else going on, so they guess you'll hang out with you. But a coffee date is something else. Coffee date, like I said, you carve out time from your day. Chances are you're going on the date and then you're going off to do more things. It's a little bit more like I do like this person enough to take away some of my day for you. And then yeah, you pretty much just repeat that 2 to 3 times. You ask someone to be your girlfriend. The next thing you know, you're moving in and you're getting married. Psych. It's a lot harder than that, dude. It's a lot harder than that. I don't have much experience after the first or second date. I haven't been in a relationship in so long. But yeah. But then it comes down to the whole thing too of like in your mid-20s, you have to live up to some sort of like social status too. This is the point that I want to make too. So now it's just like, if you live at home still, kiss your relationship status goodbye. And if you live with roommates, it makes it harder too. It's like you're pretty much like, if to make a relationship work well is like you have to be somewhat social, live on your own, and that person has to be somewhat social and live on their own, or one person has to live on their own so that there's just like a place where you guys can go and hang. Because then it starts getting confusing, especially if you live at home still like I do. Like you're not bringing a girl back home. You're not doing all that type of stuff. Or like with a roommate, there becomes hurdles. There's so many hurdles. I think that's the main point that I'm trying to say. There's so many hurdles that you have to get over to make a relationship work nowadays compared to like, let's say like 15 years ago. I wouldn't even know what that's like, but I just feel like it's easier. Life was easier compared to now. And yeah, that's my rant about dating in your mid-20s. Let me know what you guys thought. I have nothing else to talk about. It's going to be a short episode. I was going to talk about the metaverse, but I think I'm going to do its own podcast on that because I really want to dive into some conspiracy theories and shit like that. So yeah, I'm going to make this podcast short. Episode 70 is in the books. I want to start doing more podcasts of relatable topics and things like that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Short podcast, I know, but yeah, I'll see you guys when I see you guys. I'm Chris. You've been beautiful. Peace.